One of the best things that can happen to a person who's affected by childhood trauma is to find out that childhood PTSD is even a thing. But as you've probably noticed, when you tell other people about trauma science, they sometimes say things that are either not helpful or just plain not true. I'm Anna Runkle, also known as the Crappy Childhood Fairy, and in my next two videos, I want to tell you, well, this is for your family and friends really, a list of things not to say to a person who tells you they have complex PTSD from childhood. Now, I'm breaking this into two videos, so I have time to get into both kinds of comments that hurt. And the first list includes comments that minimize, and the second list, in next week's video, includes comments that prescribe. They tell you what to do. Okay, so this week, in the list of things not to say to a person with CPTSD, number one, just get over it. We've all heard this one, right? And believe me, we are trying to get over it. And we would love for it to happen all at once, right now, just for you, but we haven't quite figured out how to make it happen that quickly yet. Now, I know that we get slow and stuck and negative and blamey sometimes. And you don't have to like being around that. But encouragement works better than criticism. Getting criticized for how fast we're going or what it looks like from the outside, and there's a lot of variations on this, like you're just dwelling on the past, you're just being a victim, stop navel gazing, grow up, get a life. Well, either you've said it or you've heard these comments. And the thing is, for those of us with CPTSD, it just makes it harder. Even though we understand your good motives, when you say that to us, and yes, I know we get a bit self-involved sometimes and we don't see what's right in front of us as a possible solution or a solution that would work for you. But if you don't know what it's like to have CPTSD, some things you could say that would be helpful are things like this. Hey, I hear what you're telling me, but I'm hoping you can explain to me what's happening with you because I don't understand what's going on. Or you could ask us for a book recommendation or a YouTube video that explains it. You could also say something encouraging like, I think it's incredible that you managed to figure out what's happening for you and that you're learning new ways of healing. I am so proud of you. Now, who doesn't want to hear that? Encouragement is powerful. It can really help get a person out of a rut, and it is so much more likely to work than criticism. Okay, second thing not to say. I've heard this so much from people who see my content and they say, haha, well, we all have childhood PTSD, don't we? LOL. And I suppose if you're defining trauma very loosely, maybe yes. But actually, no, we didn't all have childhood trauma and we don't all have PTSD. And the hard stuff that everyone experiences from time to time is hard. But it doesn't, for example, cause brain changes or impact your endocrine system or your immune system like, say, sexual abuse might do. That's a different thing. Now, it's true that some people seem kind of into their trauma and they seem to be making a mountain out of a molehill, and that happens sometimes. But keep in mind that many of us very wisely keep our traumas private, which makes it extra true that none of us can ever know what another person has been through or how we might feel if we went through the same thing. People are different. The impact of different traumatic experiences on people are different. Okay, third thing, never to say to someone with CPTSD, you're just using the past as an excuse for bad behavior. Boy, did I used to hear this a lot. And yes, this is another one that does happen sometimes. But what also happens is that CPTSD from past trauma actually does impact behavior in a way a person can't control or can't control yet. It can range from being oversensitive all the way on up to, say, being violent. Now, CPTSD does not make it okay to be violent or abusive. So if someone is abusing you, even if they did have childhood trauma and maybe rightly connecting the dots on what happened to them and how they're behaving now, you do not have to put up with it, and you shouldn't put up with it. Abusive people can and should make stopping their hurtful behavior their highest priority. And if you're their friend or partner or family member and you're not seeing that change happen, it's time to get some boundaries and not expose yourself to that. Now, kids are people who may not have a choice about whether they're exposed to it, or you might be in life circumstances that make it so you are actually stuck there. But in a lot of cases, we feel like we're stuck, but we actually have more choices than we realize. So step away. Don't tolerate abuse. Okay, to get back to things not to say, Here's a big one. You're just choosing these problems because of low self-esteem, or you want attention, or this is my favorite comment, I hate this one. You unconsciously want to recreate your childhood. Please, of course we don't want to recreate our childhoods. It just looks like that from the outside when you're seeing a person with CPTSD seem to make the same mistake over and over and over again. But don't assume this is a conscious choice. CPTSD involves brain changes that can flare up right when decision-making is critical, and this can heal. But yes, we're going to have to play an active role in healing that. The way we can go into autopilot right when we need to actually get the heck out of a situation, it won't work. It will keep undermining us. You're right. Now, we can learn to slow down or pause the decision process until we can get support and reason things out and get our brains back online and get out of trouble. We need to get our brains re-regulated. Then we can make smart, healthy, full brain decisions. This is a total game changer, and these are things that as a person who cares about us, you can help with. It's not criticism, it's support. Now, these healing strategies are things I teach in my online courses, and you can always get full information on those in the links below in the description section. Next week, I'm going to tell you 4 more things not to say to a person with childhood PTSD, and these are along the lines of telling them what they have to do. I'll tell you why that doesn't work and what you can say instead that's more likely to help. And you can get a notification for that video the minute it comes out. Just make sure that you've hit the subscribe button below. I'll see you next week.